terms of the descriptive and prescriptive propositions, I think you're right. The prescriptive ones probably could have been included in their own section, maybe in the implications.
Yes.
And maybe would have been more impactful this way. And I agree with that. And then in terms of your comments, I do think culture is very broad, and I think it would have been better to be more specific in general. It's difficult to capture, and there are many definitions. I think maybe I should go with one definition, one way to describe, and just like you were saying, maybe use questions that have been previously used in other research.
Thank you.
It's okay, it's okay.
Okay. Hi. How are you doing?
What kind? Is it black? Ooh, he brought me some tea.
In that, we will be here until when?
Tonight.
Tonight. Tonight. Okay. Okay, then. I don't know. In that, go to Valencia, or if you come again here.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the help.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye.
I love this. How much should I drink at a time? Like this much? Only a little bit? Okay. It's strong. Yeah, I want to open it and smell it. But I can't. Can you? I don't know. Well, because I live in the it's 4 hours. Oh yeah, I finished. Well, they're going to keep me. But ooh, it looks like green tea. Are you sure it's black? It looks. I'm excited. I think it has caffeine, right? Yeah.
Excellent presentation. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So,
I hope it was entertaining.
oh yeah.
At
Absolutely,
least.
absolutely.
Yeah, you have to visit Austin. It's an incredible place.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do some teaching.
Well,
at the university.
hopefully that would be good. Okay, we'll talk about it.
We are about half an hour delayed compared to schedule, so if it doesn't mean you will not have your assigned time, right? You just have about 15 minutes, if possible, to just present the overview of the main traits of your master's thesis. Then the three colleagues we are here will make questions or comments, if any, and you will have this last 3-4 minutes to reply and make your own conclusion. Okay, so you can do that.
I tried to within 15 minutes. Welcome to my presentation today. My topic is about the effect of social quality and customer image on corporate image on loyalty. The corporate image on loyalty, and assess the role of switching cost and customer entities as a moderator. And my supervisor is Professor Alexander Simon. He doesn't hear, but he's talking.
We know.
Yes, and the presentation structure is all about, I will talk about, first I will talk about objectives and motivation or why I chose this topic, and theoretical background will be along with the hypothesis development and the methodology and use of research. Then I will give the limitation and future result of my study. First, the objective of my papers is first I assess the impact of service quality and corporate image on the loyalty behavior, and then I will assess the impact of switching costs and customer abilities as a moderator. And finally, I will add some social demographic variables and assess that are there any variable influencing on the customer loyalty. The motivation reason why I choose this topic because in the context of my country, Vietnam, the interest in the beauty industry is making rapidly, but there are no research in this field. And the second, because to find out the factor on how to impact the customer loyalty and more explanation to retain and maintain customer is more important. And how the importance of enhancing customer loyalty is in comparison with the customer satisfaction. There is no guarantee that the satisfied customer will return to purchase, and so the competitive advantage would be considered as a loyalty index. And the secondly, loyalty is used as a better strategy than the price discounting. And if improving customer loyalty, it would either generate more revenue or increase profitability. The second part, I will talk about the theoretical background. First, customer loyalty. It's defined as the customer purchase frequency and have intention to be with the firm. They always have a position towards the firm like a good amount or a good recommendation. And the service quality is defined as the functional service quality or the technical service quality. The functional one is the nature of interaction between the service provider and customer by which the cost of it is delivered. And the technical service is the quality of service output. And the service quality can be considered as the customer judgment what they expect and they perceive. And the hypothesis confirm the service quality is associated with customer attitude and would remain the customer, followed by Simon Gibel and Suyon Ao, Karen Smaller, 2005. The hypothesis one is given as service quality has a positive impact on the loyalty. And the second independent variable is customer image. Or corporate image, sorry, is the corporate image is all the impression made on the mind of the public about the firm, and because the image plays a secondary role unless the competing services are perceived as virtually identical on firm performance, price, or availability, and the hypothesis confirms the corporate image has a significant impact on the customer loyalty, followed to the research of Alison E. Hart, Philip G. George Berger, 2004, and the hypothesis 2 we given as a corporate image has a positive impact on loyalty. And the second independent variable is switching costs. Those cost is defined as the cost involved in changing from one to another for the monetary or non-monetary expense, like non-monetary expense like time consuming or treatment disrupting. And the hypothesis confirms the clients with the low switching cost would routinize the quality they receive than the customer with the high one, followed to June 1, 2000. And hypothesis 3 will be given like this. And hypothesis 4 will confirm the switching cost right. The satisfied customer would stay with the service provider even if the firm image undergoes that part, followed by June 1, 2000 also. customer entities. Customer entities is defined as a customer accrued knowledge about the firm's service performance and general understanding of the average performance of similar brands in the product category. It larger understanding than the experience of the service of the customer experience what happened in the firm. And the hypothesis 5 comes from the customer learn more firm's information. They are better to evaluate service offerings and focus on their assessment on the core attributes. Followed by Sihan Eber Rata 1997 and Simon Siyon Karen 2005 like the hypothesis before. And hypothesis 6 come from the evidence is considered in a range the determinants of the such behavior following to one's ability to learn about the services. Followed to the John Deborah James in 1986. And finally, I add some demographic variables to test evaluate the hypothesis 7 like gender, age, income level, educational level, residential area, and hypothesis 7 given as a social demographic variable will significantly affect the customer loyalty. Methodology. I will talk about the methodology from data collection, variable description, and factor analysis, multivariate linear model. The data collection. As I mentioned both the data collect from the beauty service company from Vietnam, and the data conduct within 3 weeks from the 7th to 21st of June at the first week of workshop. They open the workshop and they collect the data for me and at the customer in at the 3 firms ranges. After that, 123 surveys, including 7-point answer, average lasted from 17 to 25 minutes, and 53 paper answers collected from the loyal sample from customer list. And the customer chosen had a transaction record and independent decision. That means independent decision. That means they over 18 and they had the ability to do what they want. And actual false view 1 to 5, and no opinion, those were unallowed. And from that, I had a description of variables from independent variable. Description is the participants were asked about their willingness to either motivate others to work with the company or do more service with the company with 5 items. And independent variable from the service quality to the customer entities. The service quality is that participants were asked to state their thoughts about the staff work and service done well and service procedure with 5 items. And customer image, corporate image, were participants were asked to state their thoughts about the company's success and innovation, having customer demands with 5 items. And switching cost is that the participants were asked to state their thoughts about the relatability to change to another supplier with 3 items. And customer entities, participants were asked to state their understanding of the service supplier from the company with 2 items. And the control variable including age, income, education, and gender, residential area will be asked. And then we talk about the exploratory factor analysis. When I do the correlation matrix, 1 item of switching cost were dropped out because it under 0.3 score, and the question is in general it would be hassle changing the service firm. And I split into 2 parts of analysis for independent variables and dependent variable. And the first one, independent variable, I was employed in iterated irreducible factor analysis. And the second way I use reducible component factor analysis, because when I use the reducible component factor analysis for the independent variable, it just give three variable obtained. So I did change. I don't know whether I change iterated reducible factor analysis for the first one. And the factor obtained. The factor obtained here. First, customer loyalty. Customer loyalty is the question 1 is CL1 to CL5 is CL, and the service quality of 5 question of service quality is drawn in SQE service quality, but the service quality question 5 is drawn with the corporate image. I think this is because they misunderstand or they don't understand clearly about my question. And the final is switching cost is SC2 to SC3 is drawn into SC, and customer advertising CE1 will generate. And the model when I read some model from some paper, to test the moderated effect, and the band effect will run to test first, then the moderated effect will be considered and follow to the Revel and Baron David and KD 1986. And the model 1 is 4 main effects: service quality, corporate image, and service switching cost, and corporate customer activities. And the model 2, I will add 4 interaction terms like service quality with the switching cost, corporate image with switching cost, and service quality with customer activities, and corporate image with customer activities. And the model 3, I will add more about the social demographic variable from the age, gender, income, education, and residential area. And the result, yes, I had two main results about. First, I do the result from the social demographic analysis, and the second is effect of variables on customer loyalty. And so the social demographic analysis, so that gender is 97.6% female, and range of age 20 to 68, average is 40, under 40 use service more than over 40, and average income under 30 million Vietnam đồng is use service community, and educational level is majority under bachelor, and 92.6% of customer come from university. And the effect variable on the customer loyalty, I do more 3 models, and the first model where I had the switching cost is not a significant variable, and when I add that for interaction and with the model 3 with the control variable, they are not significant at all. They only have a change the significant switching cost and corporate impact from insignificant to significant, but the control variable is not significant, so I can accept it. And then when I do to predict the customer loyalty, I drop out the switching cost to rate the customer loyalty with R adjusted R square is not changing much. And the result to test hypothesis from 1 to 7, hypothesis 1 and 2 are supported, and I withdraw from the customer activities group as a predictor of loyalty, and corporate image is more influential than the service quality. The limitation. The first limitation is from about Hill 1998. The number of answers should be over 2,000 for 5 green area in my study, but I just do 123 answers. and the Western part of service quality is drawn into part of customer image. It means that more explanation is needed to differ the core question. And the third one is the explanation depended on the understanding the customer can start and will not repaired into patterns. And then future research. Future research, firstly, the switching cost has not been through to research. Maybe can show the safety on only customer entities or switching cost could lead more insightful finding. And the secondly, full answer survey show the better result is social demographic because the social demographic data is not full enough, it's omitted. So it needs a full answer, and the larger sample should be the better result. And the future research can be measured repurchase behavior as objective behavior. And finally, the results can be useful to replicate to other service sector, and the beauty service provider can be explored to the model to replicate the customer intention or experience through improving or changing the study questionnaire. Yeah. And that's all. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That's not exactly thank you in Spanish.
Yes, I know that. Not about thank you.
Not just kidding.
Yes.
Okay, thanks you because I think you organized your presentation fine, well, according to the development of the paper, and you did on time. You communicated the most relevant outcomes, so I think we can proceed to make the comments. First, Pilar will start.
Thanks, Steve, for your presentation and congratulations for your study, your work. Yeah? Okay, your topic is, for me, is in my opinion, is perhaps one of the most studied area in marketing. You know, so it's difficult to make a small contribution in this field, no? However, I think that you have done a great exercise in this field, and so I try to give you such suggestion if you are thinking to continue in the future, no?
Yes.
So perhaps in this area now, I recommend to focus in new service providers, in new economies, for example, peer-to-peer platforms, no, because it's very empty studies in this field, no, and perhaps your study, your methodology, perhaps I recommend to prove in other providers or another service. No? I also recommend to use perhaps to use another variables that switching costs, no, because perhaps to use perceived risk is a moderator in your model better than the switching cost. Because usually this concept, the switching cost, has been used usually as antecedent and not as moderator in the loyalty customer, no? But your results is not confirmed also the switching cost variable, so perhaps it's that usually in this literature in marketing, switching cost is more a moderator, antecedent, no? And usually use
Yes,
the perceived risk.
It also, so we got also a doesn't customer loyalty.
Okay, no, it's sorry. But third, my question, one of my suggestions, or the big problem that I focus more is something formal, no? Because it surprises a lot, no? I think you have a big problem with the reference. No, there are, I think, too much in the text. For example, yeah, paragraph that you have set lines and only one and a little bit more is a sentence. All the rest line is reference, 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 and reference. Now I don't know exactly the paper. Yes, it's here. No. Sandra Teddy, Hamni Laya, Sandra Stephanie Powers, Astriayu, Sandra Jennifer, 2019. Pulling Lu, Chuyu, Wu, bueno, it's terrible. It's terrible. No? Too much in the test, too much in the master thesis, in the part of the reference section, no? in your thesis, and not always solvent reference. Many are from 2019, 2018, but really, did you read and more than state or indicate what are these contributions? No? What is the contribution? The Chandra, all of the Chandras, the other, more than this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. No, perhaps is better reduce the number and to sign or to indicate one of them or two, both, and this one is for this one, this one, this other, this contribution. No, some reference in the test, some reference there are in the test, but not in the reference section as Gronos. That is a key author in the service quality in the page number 9. Christian Rogos in 1984 is not in the reference. But my big surprise is the norms or pattern that you have used to name them in the test and in the reference section. Normally, usually, the references are sorted by alphabetical order of surnames, not by names. So, for example, no, Vicky Basu is a good reference that you use, and that where is, or Valerie Tegman, no, and the order is for Valerie, not for Tegman or Leonard Button. The name usually in the academics, between academics, we know the surname, no, Tegman, Berbera, Parasurama, no, or Vicky Basu. And you use the name, no? And order sort this reference by the name and not surname. So I make many time I spend in these things, you know. So this is my suggestion and my careful review.
All right, let's proceed with second.
Okay, congratulations for your thesis. I think you do a beautiful piece of paper. You do an effort to build an original data set. I think the topic is relevant. I have only a couple of questions. One is, you are trying to measure quality. Quality is difficult to measure. You are trying to measure with a survey. You ask people questions about what they think about the quality of the service, so on. But this is it's not an exogenous variable of quality. It's not something that are different of the opinion. This can be influenced by the customer aptitude behavior. So, okay, it's one way to measure. But my main question about these variables is that in your survey you have 5 questions about quality, for example, quality service. But then finally in the estimation you have 1 variable. So you have to merge or
Yes.
in some way how you construct what the index of service quality using the answers of 5 different questions. You merge the values of all the answers. How do you do?
No, I just follow the result before, and I do it translate for in the context of my research. So I follow the questions. Junior 1, 2000, and 2000. So yes, and I do the factor analysis.
And then with this factor analysis you
Yes.
obtain 1 value.
One value.
Okay.
And but the question 5 that join into another question join into the corporate image. So that's my question.
My question is because it's true that you put in the table the UEF coefficient and you present the correlation matrix in the appendix, but in the appendix you present with the answers, not with the value that you use in the regressions. But for example, answers about service quality and about corporate image are very correlated. In some cases, the correlation between some of the answers about service quality and corporate image have a correlation of 80%. I'm not sure that you have problems of multicollinearity when you include service quality, corporate image, that 2 variables have to be correlated. I think that the quality of the service is good, the image of this corporate is better. So what is the degree of correlation between these 2 independent variables? Be careful.
Yes, because when I read the material about the technique and I apply it to my methodology, there is some problem that it joined together with, and the correlative score is below that. I just follow the material technique, but
Okay.
I don't understand too much, but I think my study is to follow to do it, but many problems I can solve.
But be careful because in fact, if you check in table 3, the highest values of the BEF coefficient is for these 2 variables. In some cases 2.8. So the other question is about heterogeneity. You don't say nothing about the control for heterogeneity, or finally you have a cross section. No? I don't know how many observations you have too, because you put in the table. The regressions of the table 3,
Yes,
how many observations you have?
Yes.